Okay.
Wow. It's a debut pick.
Suddenly, all that magic damage is justified.
Yeah.
I love it.
They have true. I mean, it's good because the Irithel isn't the one that you're using as your main damage Gord. You have the Gord, you have the Hardy. Remember, Gord can take true damage. Irithel delivers the physical. It should be okay. Kind of underwhelmed, but you know what? It makes sense.
It's a lot of damage, but I think it's so reliant on the perfect set, and it's so reliant on your opponents not being not able to dodge.
Yeah.
Which again, they're very capable of. This lineup is so mobile. This lineup is so quick.
Yeah. If there's a hero that could overextend, it could just be the Phobius. You know, the Claude can escape. The Khalid is okay. What do you have in mind, man?
Joy, like what Rockhard mentioned earlier.
Oh, okay.
I like the joy here for them.
It's Joy, right?
Just double down on magic, unless they go ISS, but kind of underwhelming. Okay.
Yeah, this is what I had in mind, to just pick up the assassin because it's mobile and agile anyway.
That's true.
And gonna fight tooth and nail. Also up for contention is first seed of the season. Let's go ahead and load up into game number 1.
Let's see how Nova and Aqua can fare against this Khalid and Valentina. So Shijo went for the typical build-up on the Irithel. Gets the Assassin Emblem set, Master Assassin, Fatal, to really focus on the crit and the damage. Take a good look at the health bars throughout this phase when we don't get to see the gold lane a lot.
All right, so right now, obviously, it's going to be a bit of a hard laning phase here for Shizu. I think one of the reasons why the Irithel just doesn't get picked up as much. But I wonder, is this what Coach G was talking about earlier, that we're going to be so surprised? I'm not sure what the surprise factor is with the Irithel.
Well, we're just about to find that out later on, because the scaling of that Irithel doesn't come until maybe somewhere around 10 minutes or so.
Takes a while.
To our streamers who are currently watching this game. That's Shy Gaming for you, one of our local content creators. Shizu, on the other hand, is having quite of a difficult time against Super Marco, but the freeze is going to be helping as well. Oakwin dished out in terms of the damage, cut up to half of his health, but James Banks not being able to convert.
Yeah, so far good management of the row mid trading here by Nova and Aqua. Able to match the aggression of Ogwin and Haji. Tough boots. First one for the high loss. Similar to Ogwin, so both teams respecting the amounts of crowd control.
Okay. Good mobility. Decides not to go for Elegant Gem earlier. That means they just want to have more map control instead of survivability here.
Yeah. By the way, Shizu has like 150 BPM right now in his heart rate. Super Marco's just under 100.
I guess that's just the pressure, right? That's the pressure.
Yeah, that's the early game for you, but then it's going to be Ogwin, who's kind of been dealing with the damage, and that's going to be the first blood. Go with the James Banks. Oogie's shadow kill from Kyle is going to be cutting Nova to half. This is a win for AB Bren.
Yeah, with Alice here, plus more!
Look at that! Even a glorious pathway to find Aqua at the back, and Flap started going haywire. But then KelVJ is going to be doing the same thing with the Throne of Ruin and killing one of his own. Kyle doing the same. Double kill for the Valentina. Hachi is doing everything he can, but James Banks still able to take it. KelVJ is going to be able to escape, but Falcons are holding on to a 400 gold lead.
So, trying to survive, but barely. And there goes that Deadly Magic again. Oakland's going to have to get used to that.
Yeah, lots of kill trades, but AP Bren walk away with 2. James Banks gets 2 and gets the turtle as well. He's still getting marked by Ogren in the map, though, with his rotations. Kyle used his Retribution a little bit earlier in the sequence, if I'm not mistaken. It was still on cooldown at some point. Excuse me, that might have been his shadow kill.
Oh, wait.
All right.
He's already used the Retribution. I mean, James Banks was going for the kill, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, so far so good here, at least for our gold lane debut pick. Still alive, still not dying, although it is not getting as much attention as we thought it would. I was expecting it was going to get ganked to oblivion, but somehow, yeah, just surviving, that's key. For AB Bren, slow and steady wins the race here.
Well, a glowing wand for Haji. Still, he started off this game with 2. Remember, there's a reason why I put a lot of focus onto his Valentina. He just times it so well. He knows what ultimate to get at the right time. Wouldn't be surprised if at some point we might even see him cosplaying as the Irithel if ever they need just a little bit more.
Ooh, that's crazy.
Access onto the gourd. Maybe the Glorious Pathway, a lot of options for him.
Now it's just Shizu getting some help in terms of the scaling coming out from Super Marco as Team Falcons maybe holding on to a 600 gold lead, but it's still neck and neck for both of the squads.
Shizu was ahead in XP. That's interesting to watch. Right now, it is AP Bren just trying to make sure that they don't get invaded. So everyone's just blocking out those, you know, those jungle holes, entrances.
Yeah.
Sorry, what's a jungle hole?
I mean, it's whatever you call it.
Whatever you call
jungle hole.
It's a hole in the jungle. Right
it's a hole in the jungle. Just again, going into this turtle pit once more. 50% of the HP. KelVJ faces Flap. There goes the Raging Sandstorm as well. And it might just be Kyle getting this turtle again. Now KelVJ, can he be able to do something here? Flap just roaming around, trying to at least distract the rest of the members of AP Bren, but they will now be setting their sights on him, and he will be going down. That's one kill for a major objective. Team Falcons is going to be taking that trade.
Yeah, good thing that AP Bren, instead of just fully giving up the sequence, they decided to see if they could get a kill, at least to trade it out. Good trades, but Nova!
Oh, it's a slight punishment, but maybe a major drawback for Team Falcons as they were able to at least give them another sort of punishment. James Banks wanted to assist, but no damage seen. Ogwin with a barricade.
I know if you guys feel it, but James Banks feels like he's just like 2 seconds out of tempo, out of timing every time a team fight occurs. Maybe he's just getting outmaneuvered here so far by Kyle, who seems to be having just a field day on this Hayabusa.
Look at this, Ogwin biting off a little more than he could chew. Even the prayer is not going to save him from the gush.
True damage is making its mark, bro.
Yes.
It's what Renmars was talking about earlier. That true damage can really take you by surprise.
Well, in the last one, James Banks was ready for the turtle. It's just that Ogwin looked like he landed the easiest Raging Sandstorm in his entire career, as James Banks was just standing there. It's like, all right, I can see turtle. Oh, nope, the Scully is up on me. And AP Bren, they decided to scatter away from their parley. Managed it. Yeah, James Banks went down, but again, as we mentioned earlier, or at least he didn't go down. At least they were able to get a kill. So him picking up the Bloody Retribution is good as well. Gets him just a little bit more HP that he could steal away from the members of Falcons. Makes him tankier.
Yeah, I definitely will need that later as well, right? There's just so much fade-away damage as well coming in from like the shadow kill, and if Audrey decides to chase after you.
Yeah, and this is going to be the Battle Mage Harley. That's going to be a brute force breastplate, it looks like, for the second item.
Me likey. We're going to see a lot of presence for James here. Now they're setting up for next turtle.
But maybe a lot of damage too coming out from both teams. 60% is the turtle HP. It's going to be Ogwin again, flickering away from that. It's going to be a major turtle reset. But just to have its help, KelVJ is going to be facing Flap once again. Kyle from the back is going to be Flap still at the front lines. Look at the shot, the damage, and KelVJ is going to be taking the turtle. James Banks is going to be taking the damage the same way. KelVJ is going to be using the flicker to get out of that situation. So with no casualties, AP Bren takes the win.
Miraculous.
Clean non-fight.
Yeah. Wow, AP Bren, you gotta appreciate their patience here. Nova's making the most out of his Revitalize. He didn't even need to use it mid-fight. I believe it was near the tail end of it. But Falcons will be able to break the tower in mid-first.
And they wanted to go for it, but instead it's a major blunder as Flap falls. They were able to take the middle lane turret, but it is the price of 2 lives coming out from the Falcons as they've lost their wings. AP Bren, the Bees, are looking to punish them even more from their crucial mistakes as Falcons are now just 500 up.
War Axe for the Hayabusa right after the Hunter Strike. Still, AP Bren are making the most out of their trades as these late entries of Shizu, the usages of the heavy crossbow, having that still late into the fight after Falcons have tossed a good amount of their abilities is what's changing the ties here for AP Bren.
I'm really starting to see what the surprise factor is here for AP Bren. Why this, how this Airfell could actually work. It's really good at following up whoever gets hit with the deadly magic.
Yeah.
And that target just gets removed so quickly. So I think they can really leverage that. All AP Bren is doing here is waiting for time. They're waiting for the items. And it's important to take note of Shizu's items right now. I think he's on the way to his third. That is impressive. If you think about it, 3-0-1 on that Eerie.
Yeah, like as soon as everyone started running out of gas, that's where Shizu would come in very handy. So again, Team Falcons is going to be transitioning to what they are used to do, working on their macros, fixing some things in order for them to get a little bit of a lead against AP Bren. They were able to take a turret down bottom, so this is going to be helping them towards the Turtle Siege, leading by 400 gold, and seems like Ogwin is going to be the main suspect here. They don't know that Kyle is around. It's going to be Nova again, using that Revitalize to be able to actually help. It's also Shizu using that motorcycle to actually help out. It's still Ogwin dishing, dealing with the damage and using the Flicker to be able to get away. So no casualties, but a lot of battle spells consumed.
Yeah, you really see the impact of this Irithel, the zone out, the hesitation of Falcons to fight. Because if Aqua still has the Mystic Gush and the Irithel is pressed forward, they can't fight, they can't dive.
But that's the thing though, two of AP Brens no longer have their ultimates. Meanwhile, it's still a full slate for Team Falcons with a 50% HP bar on this first Lord of the game. Will they be able to reset it? The answer is yes. This is the calm before the storm.
Yeah, that's the reset they needed to get Kyle into a good position. They also need to manage those waves. James Stang's already doing that on the bottom as well. Ooh. And now he's getting a purple stolen.
Yeah, that's a great decision there by Kyle. Something that we saw Zydo was doing earlier as well when he was playing the Saber. Because of the minion wave up top, getting pushed in for AP Bren, means that Kyle has the space to actually play that.
They're still going to be bursting down Ogwin, but he's just going to use a Raging Sandstorm to get out of there. Kyle making the most out of those nothing fights, where they have now completely capitalized in the situation. And James Banks, purple nowhere to be found.
Yeah,
he checked it. Where is it? Oh, okay.
It seems like AP Bren understand just how much weight the Mystic Gush has, the ultimate of that gourd. In a team fight, they're going to be playing around its cooldown timers. Core items locked in for the Battle Mage Harley. Divine Glaive third.
They're looking to burst this down since they saw that Kyle is at top, but it's still going to be Haji taking it for the team. It's Slap now dishing the damage. It's Shizu in front, and Ogwin is looking to help out in the party as well. Look at Flap and KLBJ as well. Haji making the crucial play, and KLBJ, I was supposed to do that, but Haji says no. Throne of Ruin in order for Team Falcons to place it upon themselves.
I think AP Bren were rattled after James Banks missed the red tree. It might have been a little bit earlier, a little bit late. It's Haji, this Valentina. Yes, it is a risk that you're giving the Throne of Ruin to the Valentina, but so far KLVJ and AP Bren have been playing very well around it. But all it takes is one moment to show why this hero is Haji's best for Season 17.
Oh my goodness.
So ironic. It's the copied Throne of Ruin that did the biggest impact so far in terms of these two.
Imposter is on site. It's Haji, and he means business. Now it's going to be Ogwin Owen.
Ooh, that's a great bait.
That's still a solid take. Kyle, I'm wondering if he's going to go in. The answer is going to be no. They're just going to leave the Lord alone. They got more than what they wanted. They're able to trim down the base of AP Bren to get more of their real estate too.
All right, I think we're starting to see the chicken armor here for AP Bren. If you dive heavily on this lineup, it's actually very hard for Shizu to, reposition himself. He doesn't have Flicker.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a bit easier to, death ball into this lineup if they don't see it coming.
Now they really have to take into account the Throne of Ruin that Haji could take away. Win in nature and core items locked in for Shizu. Rushed that, but I believe he has to consider building the Malefic Gun next.
I think gun
he does have
right?
the Fury Hammer, so Malefic Gun is going to be coming up.
Okay.
You also have to make sure that for AP Bren, I'm talking about AP Bren here, is that if they can start off the fight not on Ogwin, but actually either Flap or a bit of a wishful thinking, but Haji, then that would be better. I think Ogwin, they can just poke slowly. If it's Flap who shows up, that's the one who you give more focus to.
All in.
All in. But make sure that you have some movement abilities ready for Super Marco's entry with the Blazing Duet. Here's the conceal.
Y'all heard that.
Ogwin's looking for something. He might go with a Raging Sandstorm to 3! What a play coming out of Ogwin! He's going to be able to take Aqua down, and the rest of AP Bren with it. James Banks goes down, and AP Bren falls back into base. What a heads-up play from the Falcons.
It feels like a bad case of deja vu. Wasn't it Tracy who played a similar play against AP Bren in the similar spot?
Oh,
Conceal
Ogwin.
Khalid.
Ogwin's so good with that one. Again, finding that opportunity and maximizing the conceal as well.
Now they're looking to protect their inhibitors. It's going to be Alice now. KelVJ looking to protect it. Same for Nova and Shizu with just at the back. But they're not going to be taking the burden of the damage. Instead, it's just going to be a little too much to bear as Team Falcons looking to push inside. But look at KelVJ, terrified by Haji. What a play to keep him at bay. Team Falcons being able to escape, only having no casualties at all.
What? That could have been so much worse. Falcons able to get out without a scratch and can actually reposition to this Lord is massive.
Yeah, the bad part is the minion waves don't look good in the side lanes for AP Bren. If ever they full fight this, it's all or nothing. They're a bit more calculated with it.
But are they aware of this? It's going to be James Pax now moving forward, but Kyle still gets it. Now for the great escape. James Pax is looking for it, but instead, the crossover might not work, but he still has time. Now it's going to be Shizu looking at the brunt of the damage, using for more of those free hits. Flap is just going to be taking it. Look at the back. Shizu takes down Flap, but Ogwin cut down to only 5% of his HP. What seemed to be a disaster. AP Bren did damage control.
EXP for EXP, this is why you built the Battle Mage. More sustainable Harley. James Banks took so much,
Bro.
and he still got away. KLVJ, kudos to him, the entry with the Throne of Ruin. But it was, after all that, just an EXP trade. Aqua couldn't maximize the Mystic Gush onto Marco, only got like 2 ticks onto him. Super Marco was free for majority of that sequence. The Malefic Gun is up for the Irithel, and that could be just the damage, the extra bit of damage that they have been lacking.
That was already an insane play, man. Ogwin was relentless against James, and somehow James survives the perks of being a Battle Mage Harley.
Yeah, this is the thing, though. They kind of have a little bit more time as Kyle trimmed down to only 5% of his HP. It was a close call for the jungler of Team Falcons, but they will be able to escape. Same could be said for the Lord, as it will be taken down. Haji has nothing else to do there, so he had to escape. Great defense from AP Bren. Team Falcons not being able to maximize.
Still with the lack of turrets. The turret in the mid lane for Falcons still standing. This is going to be one of the toughest climbs for AP Bren in this game. They have the tools, but Falcons have been team fighting really well. They have not lost Haji, Marco, or Kyle once. The only deaths AP Bren have been able to get have been on the frontliners of Falcons. The cores, the carries of Falcons have been deathless.
That's actually a very good idea of how Falcons play. Very good at juggling that damage. And even if they can't take the damage, you know what? They'll put it to the guy who can kind of just, you know, be the scapegoat so that everyone else can still get a very healthy advantage. That's what we're seeing right here, right now. And for AP Bren though, every minute that they're buying is just a minute Shizu is approaching that max item cap. He is starting to become scarier and scarier by the moment. We all know Claude can do more, but the burst that can come from a critical of an Irithel can really, you can feel it from a mile away.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it does help AP Bren in some scenarios, and in fact, it's just one more item before Shizu gets the full build. 10 seconds before the Lord approaches, and I wonder if AP Bren's gonna be able to contest for this, because Team Falcons, they are looking at every position, every corner of entry that the beast would come from.
3 Winter Crowns for Falcons, 1 on Flap, 1 on Haji, and 1 on Super Marco. That extra bit of survivability might be the difference maker here. The Falcons going for the rush. AP Bren doesn't know.
Dude, guess what?
Yo, they're Russian.
It's kind of a deja vu. Look at where Ogwin is positioning again. Is AP Bren aware of this situation? Ogwin is just gonna show himself. This is a clean take from Team Falcons.
Yeah, they were very happy to just take that so quickly. They knew they had tempo. They knew they had the advantage. And you know what? Zero vision for AP Bren. I don't know who's going to do the checking, but Nova's just not it. I don't think Nova can actually sustain that much damage.
No, but they were able to see the members of Falcons. It's just I think they acknowledged that they couldn't get close enough. And because of how fast Falcons were able to clear, James Banks and AP Bren probably just made the call to back off. GDS locked in for Shizo. Should be some movement speed so that he can get around them, conceal.
Ogwen now inside. He's gonna be the one taking a bit of the damage, but still able to escape. Waste of skills coming out from maybe Bren, unable to convert on that one. But the siege continues. Team Falcons holding on to an 8k gold lead. This might be Haji now holding on to another Throne of Ruin. We're waiting for the time for him to strike. Instead, it's going to be KLVJ only catching Ogwen. And now they're going to be setting their sights on him. Instead, they go to Flap. Brunting, taking, looking, shooting, and then going to be dealing the damage again. But look at Shizu staying alive in the midst of it all. Flap is going to be jumping using the Infernal Pursuit, but he will go down as well. James Banks, Aqua, now they're on the ones in the chase. Super Marco's gonna be backing away, and in spite of them losing all of their inhibitors, the Bees are still standing.
I was wondering why KLVJ didn't use the flicker when he initially brought out that Throne of Ruin that caught Ogwen first, or I believe it was Flap, one of those two. But then Kyle was not visible. I think he was also taking into consideration that if ever he decided to flicker Throne of Ruin forward, James Banks and Aqua might get forced back by the entry of Kyle with a shadow kill.
Ogwen getting habit of time, oh my gosh.
Damn.
It's just inhibitor siege all over again.
Yeah, think about that. That is not a Oracle-laden Khalid. That is just the strength of his second skill. There's no Oracle on him.
And that's what you see, right? That's what you get when you get a Khalid so early on. Just slap on a Radiant Armor, and you're pretty much just a regenerating monster. And that's something that's a little hard for most Harleys to deal with. That's why that matchup is just so good. But right now, if you're talking about like KLVJ, like why they didn't go for the flicker, maybe it was they just wanted Ogwen, probably, right? They just wanted to get rid of this Khalid who was just giving so much for Shizu to think of.
Yeah, that's the thing though. I felt like they were just willing to take down whoever they can. Because to be fair, if it's not the Khalid, I think they can take down anyone. It's just that there's just so much resistance from the skill set that Khalid has.
Okay, this has to be an all-in by AP Bren. They're gonna have to start with something. They have to get something here. It's gonna be really difficult for them to push, to defend from an evolved Lord already. At that point, Falcons can just throw bodies. But they're handling the macro really well. Both side lanes getting pushed towards the AP Bren side. A minion wave, a small little minion in mid.
The Bees are gonna have to make a choice. Kyle is still nowhere to be found, and Team Falcons are holding on to this. Shizu is in a very dangerous corner, and it seems like Haji is smelling something. Ogwen is feeling it too. Is this bound to happen? Ogwen is gonna be right there, and Shizu, he has been compromised here. Now he will be able to escape through the help of KLVJ, but look at where Kyle is at. They're gonna have to go back. They're gonna have to make a choice, and that is exactly what Aqua is gonna be doing. Same could be said for James Banks. They backed away, so it means it's an all-5 lineup for Team Falcons, and with that, the rest of the Bees are going to be going away unless they go for the fight once again.
It's a very open Lord here. Who is going to go take it? No. It's still a no-go here for AP Bren. They're fighting it up.
Hold up, it's going to be a KLVJ Throne of Ruin again, but look at that. Flap just right behind, using the Winter Crown, evading possible territory, but look at Haji again. Shizu popping off the ultimate and immediately going down. What a setup from Haji, the machine that you are, finishing it off for AP and Team Falcons. Full 4-man strong. Marco doing his best, but James Banks has nowhere to go. This is the inevitable. Falcons flapping their wings for a win in game number 1.
Big brain plays coming.